안녕하세요. 안녕. Lindsay입니다. I'm getting there. Little bit at a time. Hi Shannon. Hi everyone. How are you? So this is my second Korean video update, I think, and we're on kind of our fourth week of this little project, and it's fun. I'm excited. I am going to be talking to you a little bit today about honorifics. That was our sort of topic for the week, but to be honest, I hardly got there until midweek this week because I was in France and I was not doing much Korean in France, surprisingly. I was speaking more French. I wrote some notes yesterday, the day before maybe? I'm not sure. Something really cool about this is I learned one of these things in particular from watching K-drama. I say K-drama, Boys Over Flowers, just the one really. And the thing that I learned from watching Boys Over Flowers is that they would always, well, the main character, Nandi, would always say to the boys, she'd call them Sunbae or Sanbae. And I'm thinking, what is this Sunbae, Sanbae? Does this mean like friend, or is this some kind of form of address? Eventually I found out it was Sunbae, spelled S-U-N, Sunbae. And this is something that you say to someone when they're older than you, or but not just if they're older, it's kind of if they have more experience in something than you. So for example, the reason that she does it in Boys Over Flowers is because they are older and therefore they're higher up than her in the school. So they have more experience in life, in the school. But then, for example, it gets a bit weird because I then read this article about it, which I think I sent to you, Shannon, right, on Twitter. I'll link to that in the description below if I remember. I read this article about it, and it was like saying that in sort of K-pop there was some scandal because someone had addressed some other K-pop singer but not as Sunbae, even though this other K-pop singer had been around for longer and so was more experienced. So this person should have called them Sunbae, but they didn't, and it was like, oh, that's so rude. So I was like, wow, this whole idea of honorifics is really important in Korean. You know, whereas in English, I can make my speech politer if I'm speaking to a boss. You know, maybe I won't use so much kind of slang, things like kind of, right? But really, it's going to be pretty much the same. You know, just my slight adjustments on a personal level. It makes a lot of sense. It's very polite, right? But I feel like this is where language and culture becomes just so. Also, what I read in the article about the K-pop was that there is Hoobae, H-O-O-B-A-E in the kind of English spelling of it. Hoobae, which is what you say to someone, how you address someone when they are less experienced or kind of younger than you in that sense. So that was really interesting kind of accidental introduction to honorifics this week, was the Sunbae, Hoobae. But then kind of aside from that, you've got 3 levels when it comes to honorifics. You've got informal low, informal high, and then formal high. So, and this is something that you notice from the start with Korean, and it's something that when you start a language like this and it's like, yeah, there's 3 ways to say hello, or there's 17 different ways that you can say like good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or something like that in like those early words of a language, and you think, oh my goodness. I guess in a way this was Korean when you learn hello. 안녕, 안녕하세요, 안녕하십니다. I can never remember the last one. 안녕하십니다. 안녕하십니다. 3 different ways of saying hello, and you kind of instantly think, oh, I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm gonna, you know, address someone in the wrong way, and I think that's kind of scary, I'm gonna be honest, when you learn in a new language, because the last thing you want to do is offend someone. And I think with something like this, you know, like I read the article about the K-pop drama with the whole someone addressing someone the wrong way, and it was a big scandal, and you think, oh, I don't want to do that, as you know. And I'm sure perhaps there would be some leeway as a sort of a non-native speaker, you know, and maybe there would be some kind of acceptance, but you just don't know, and you just don't know who you're talking to and the mistakes you're going to make. So that's quite a big thing, right? What else did I write down about honorifics? Let me see. Yes, this is important. It affects the verb and adjective conjugation. Most verbs and adjectives end in a da or a da. Not a hard not hardy, sorry, something in my eye. So you kind of get rid of that and then you add the new thing. I think this is such a huge topic and so important. So I don't know, how are you getting on with this, Shannon? Let me know. And I look forward to seeing your next update. And as always, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video for regular language learning goodness right here on YouTube. And check out the blog over at lindsaydoeslanguages.com. And I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.